we have very important topic, units and conversion. And as a mechanical engineer, as an electrical engineer, as a civil, whatever, if you're working as a design side, installation side, drafting side, estimation side, this topic is very important. It's a very basic for an engineer. Hmm. If you don't know the different system of units and if you don't know the conversions, all the time you'll find the difficulty. If you're working in design or on estimation, especially in estimation means you're dealing with the quantities. And if you have confusion in the conversions, and if you order the wrong quantity, if you place the order for double quantity or if you place the order for half quantity, that definitely it will be a problem on site. And many times the metal we are placing order from other countries, the special type equipment, etc. And at that time, if the quantity is not correct, man, it will be a problem. So it will become a very big issue. So these units and conversions are very important for a beginner as well as for experienced people. Okay, so in detail we'll discuss. We'll spend some extra time on this topic because this units and conversion is common for all the services, even for all the areas, even as a HVAC also. In any area, this is important. Okay, so in detail we'll discuss. So first of all, we'll understand the importance of this units and conversion. For example, in first class, okay, so in class 1 already we learned the human comfort temperature is what? 76 degree what? Fahrenheit. But by mistake, if I write 76 degree, sorry, 76 degree Fahrenheit is the standard, na? Or 25 degrees centigrade. But by mistake, if I write 76 degrees centigrade, then people will die. You see, for example, if you use the hot water from the heater, suppose you are in the bathroom and you are taking the hot water from the heater directly without mixing. So the hot water temperature, standard temperature is 60 degrees centigrade, and you cannot reach that direct. Mixing is required. Okay, so 60 degree you cannot handle. 76 degrees centigrade is what? Very high. People will die. Similarly, suppose you are writing an exam and you're supposed to pay 10,000 Indian rupees, but by mistake you paid $10,000. Quantity increased to 70 times. Your if amount is there in your account means again it will be a big problem for you. So this is the importance of units, quantities. So I think you got the idea. Next, so let me start. Here units, concepts such as length, area, volume, temperature, flow rate, electrical energy, the list will continue, are called physical characteristics. How these are physical characteristics? For example, length, physically we can measure. Volume, we can measure physically. Area, temperature we can sense physically. Even electrical current also, all physical what have physical characteristics, and physical characteristics are measured by a standard quantity called units. For example, if I write 25, this 25 is what? This is number. But if I write 25 meter, now so you got the physical characteristics of this number, na? It's a distance. Similarly, if I write 25, this is a number, but if I write dollar, it's a currency, right? So this unit, with the unit we can find out the physical characteristics of that number. Okay, you know this, but as I said, the syllabus is from basic to advanced, and this basic is very important to reach the advanced level. Many people have confusion in the basics only, and they're finding difficulty at the time of designing. So don't underestimate these topics. This topic is not just for information, this is for designing. So you must involve in this, you must read this thoroughly, and you must by heart all the conversions, at least which is given in the notes. And the detailed conversion is given completely in the data book, the list, almost 100 to 100 conversions, 100 to 120 conversions, but at least which is given in the notes, some 10 to 12 that you need to by heart. So for example, meter is used to measure length. Similarly, square meter for area, degree centigrade for temperature, etc. So we have number of measurement system. So we'll not talk about all the system. We'll talk about the system which is used in the construction industry, including the services, including this MEP services. So if you talk about the construction industry, we are using mostly two systems. One is SI metric and second is English. Okay, so First, we'll talk about SI metric. And SI metric is not one system. SI metric is a combined. Actually, SI is different, metric is different, but both are interrelated. But how? I'll show you. So first we'll talk about SI metric, then we'll talk about English, because English is straightforward directly. So there are two system of units used in HVAC industry. Why is given HVAC industry? Because at present we are talking about HVAC, but not only HVAC, complete construction industry, including all the services. One is called inch pound, in short IP, US, Imperial or English. All are same, different name. English means Imperial, IP, US, etc. And the other is called SI system, nothing but international system of units. But where is metric? I'll explain about metric. So from metric only we got this SI. How exactly? Before SI we have only metric with English. So we'll talk about metric first. Metric system. In metric system, if you want to measure length, one can use millimeter, centimeter, meter, kilometer. And if you want to measure area, again square, meter square, etc. If you want to measure time, you can use hour, minute, second, etc. So before SI we have metric only, and companies are using this, but they are finding difficulty. How? For example, if I consider company A, B and C, suppose this is A, this is B and this is C. Suppose this is car manufacturing company. So car manufacturing company will not manufacture the tires. No? They will take the tires from other company. Suppose this is Michelin tires, or this is a tire company, and say this is some other like brake liners company. Even brake liners also, they will means many components the manufacturing company take from the other companies. So at the time of car manufacturing company dealing with a new model, what they will do, they will exchange the information from other multiple companies to get the other parts. So at the time of exchange the data, if all people are using metric, so metric means suppose they are using metric, suppose they are using centimeter, this also metric, suppose they are using metric, meter, this is also metric. So whenever exchange of data, the first problem is conversion is required, so waste of time. And if any problem in the conversion, that will affect to the whole system, whole process. And this problem is not only between these three companies, it's a global issue. So in 90s, many companies held the meeting and they decided to use only one option in this. So what they did, they pick meter in metric, they pick square meter for area, they pick second for time, for flow rate. For flow rate means discharge, they use meter cube per second. For temperature, they are using centigrade, etc. Okay, and all this set is nothing but SI. So SI is not a new, it's a part of metric only. Okay, now if all the people are using SI, the problem can solve. So SI is not a new system, it's a part of metric only. Okay, so if all the companies are using SI, the problem can solve. But still the problem is not completely solved, because for small component, if you use meter, for example, a small engine component, if I use meter, the value is going to be 0.0000 something. It is difficult for in communication, it is difficult to handle. So now in market, wherever applicable, we'll use SI, or else we'll use metric. So that's the reason we are using the combined option. We are calling SI metric. So in construction industry, wherever possibility is there, we can go for SI or else metric. For example, if I talk about duct, a duct is a passage used to convey the air. We will discuss in module 2 for air side. So many companies, almost all the companies, those who are dealing with SI system, the duct, for example, this is a passage. This is the duct through which air is flowing. So this here is a width and here is a height and length. So length is lengthy, so we can measure in meters. But height and width, if you measure in meter, the value is going to be 0.5 into 0.3 something. So it is difficult even for workers on site. So we are using, say, height 300 mm, width 500 mm. So we are using mm. Mm is metric, and here is meter is SI. So it's SI metric, right? Following, online. So we are dealing with the SI metric in actual practice. But apart from this, we have one more unit to discuss, because SI metric is not globally used. Some majority people are using SI metric, but if you talk about US, they're using English system. In Gulf, many companies they're using English system. Even India also they are using English system because English system is very easy to understand. Feet and inches. We very commonly use. Okay. So the next option in market is English system. So English system also known as IP, US or Imperial. So some examples are given here. You see English system, distance. This is just few examples. The detailed information for different units you'll find when we're dealing with the design. So distance for English systems, feet or inches, area, square feet or square inch, flow rate. In short, we are calling CFM. You can highlight this because most commonly in actual practice, if you're dealing with English system, the flow rate we are calling CFM. Actually, it's a cubic feet per minute. But in general, in short, we are calling CFM. CFM, remember, which is very commonly for ducting side, like 5000 CFM, 200 CFM, etc. at the time of dealing with air site after finding the tonnage and selecting the machine. We'll discuss this in module 2. At present, just you understand CFM is cubic feet per minute. Next is what? Temperature, degree Fahrenheit. These are few examples for English system. Example of SI system. Distance, meter, not centimeter or millimeter. If you talk about strictly SI. Area, square meter. Flow rate means discharge, cubic meter per second. In case of metric, we can use liter per second. In case of strictly SI, meter cube per second. Temperature, degree centigrade. These are few examples for units. Next, same theory what I explained. SI unit are part of a unit which is commonly used called metric. The SI system of units uses only one unit of measurement for each physical characteristic. For example, length means we are using only meter. Strictly SI. SI metric means you can combine, but strictly SI means only meter. But however, occasionally we may use metric unit, which is not standard SI unit, because this is in common practice in not only HVAC, in the construction industry. Okay, so it's not a fixed rule. You must use SI. As per the requirement, we can mix metric also. That's the reason we are calling SI metric. Okay, even in HAP software, at the time of selecting the system, selecting the units, we have two options: SI metric or English. Okay. Next, conversions or equivalents. This also very important. Conversions. This also very important. As I said at the beginning, if you fail at the time of conversion, that will directly affect the quantities at the time of design, at the time of drafting, or especially at the time of metal takeoff, steamation. Okay. So what is conversion? The unit have fixed numerical relationship to each other called equivalents or conversion factor. Some conversions, maximum conversions are fixed, but some conversions are variable. For example, currency, $1 in terms of Indian rupees, it will change. It's not fixed all the time. But in terms of measurement, in length, area, etc., we have a fixed quantities, fixed values. So first we'll talk about length or distance conversion. So in the list, first you can read 1 meter in terms of feet is 3.28 feet. But before dealing with this, we'll do a small activity and we'll confirm. Anyhow, maximum people already know this, but this is just for confirmation. What do you do? I'm writing some units on screen. In your notes, arrange this in ascending order, small to big. Do it individually, don't disclose, and we'll confirm. So first I'm writing meter, then millimeter, then inch, then feet, then kilometer, and centimeter. So all of you do one thing, arrange this in ascending order, small to big. Yes, millimeter. Agree with this online? Second from online, you can click. Good. Next, fourth online, feet is correct. Then meter, then kilometer. Fine. So all of you have. So can you visualize all these quantities? Start with mm. I think mm can visualize anyone. All these people can visualize. Mm is small. You know, everyone know. No need to discuss. And what about centimeter? You also know the centimeter. When you close your eyes, can you visualize centimeter? Fine. Because visualization is very important. Simply theoretically, if you learn means there is no use. If you visualize at the time of using these quantities, you can see the picture and you're not going to do the mistake. You can understand, this is a big unit, this is a small unit, this is a very big, etc. Okay. So centimeters and millimeter, centimeter, you can understand. What about inch? This also you know. This also you have in your mind the image. Then what about feet? Take out the measurement tape. Anyone have measurement tape? Purchase measurement tape, 3 meters, metallic type, 1 feet. Okay, I'll show you with the tape, but before this, some rough idea. Hmm. Don't think that I'm making ready for fighting. Just um, I'm showing this how much is 1 feet. So what do you do? From this point, consider this is point 1 and this is point 2. Take a half, and from this half till the last. This is how much? Approximately 1 feet. This is approximately 1 feet. You should have that idea in mind, especially for beginners. Experienced people already know about this. But if you don't know, you must create the picture in your mind. This is 1 feet. Okay. Because when you are on site, all the time you cannot say that I want measurement tape, I'll measure that, then only I'll get back to you. Roughly you should have some idea. The height of the wall, the height of the door, the width of the wall, etc. The area of that floor. So you must develop this. You must develop this experience. So this is 1 feet. Okay, exactly with the measurement tape. I'll show you. I'm just calling him. Next, what about 1 meter? 1 meter is from, suppose from start, if I start from my left shoulder and if I stretch my hand till the end, till the last, till the fingertip, here when I extend this, we can consider approximately 1 meter. Exactly, you can check with the measurement tape, you'll get almost same. So you must visualize, this is how much? This is 1 meter. Can you switch off second? Okay. So following. Similarly, how much is 1 kilometer? You should, I think you some have idea. When you drive your two-wheeler or four-wheeler, you know how much is 1 kilometer or how much is 2 kilometer. Okay, all means all of you know about this. So if you develop the practical idea, if you visualize, the work will be easy for you, because when you write any quantity, we can visualize what you're writing. Especially for beginner, you must develop this experience. But how to develop? By doing some measurement with the measurement tape. Okay. Next, so back to the topic, page number. We are talking about length and distance. So here 1 meter is how much? 3.28 feet. So in 1 meter you'll find 3.28 times of feet, right? Next, 1 meter in terms of centimeter or mm, you already know. 100 centimeter, nothing but 1000 mm. Next, excuse me, 1 meter in terms of inches. But before this, 1 feet in terms of inch. Here you see this double dash represent inches and single dash means feet. So here 1 feet in terms of inches is 12 inches. If 1 feet is 12 inches and 1 meter is 3.28 feet, 1 meter in terms of inch is what? 3.28 into 12. So quickly verify 3.28 into 12. Do it now. And you must involve in the class. Don't depend on other answer. You must involve, and you must involve, because try to make this training like hands-on training. Hands-on training means at the time of training only you try to learn maximum things. Don't wait. I'll go to home, I'll open the book, I'll plan for next week, then I'll start my revision. Now try to learn maximum in the class, and immediately you must practice on the same day, because as per scientists, as per research, we have this theory: if you revise anything within 24 hours, 90 plus chances it can convert into permanent memory. If you revise anything in 24 hours, because when you learn something, first of all, it will be in your temporary memory, conscious mind. So if you want to convert into or push into the unconscious mind, means permanent memory, you must revise within 24 hours. So 90% data you can transfer easily. Or after 24 hours, if you revise, the chances is only 4%. Thank you. The chances is only 4%. So you can decide. And that's the reason in the first class I inform you to go for daily revision, daily updation. So you can make this course very simple if you revise on the daily basis, because we cannot learn everything in Monday. It's a daily process. Okay. So revise on daily basis, that will add advantage. So here, So you must involve. So 23.28 into 39 is 12 is how much? 39.36. But here I have taken, you see, exactly 39.36 inches. And I've taken 39. Why? Because remember, we are dealing with system designing, not component designing. Already we discussed in the first class, system and component designing. In component designing, we require accuracy in mm or even microns. But in system designing, we don't require that this much high accuracy. For example, if the duct length increased to 5 mm, nothing will happen. If the duct width increased to 2 mm, nothing will happen. But again, if the engine piston increased to 2 mm size, the total engine performance will change. So we are not talking about this component designing, we are talking about system designing. So in system designing, round off is applicable. If you get the value less than 0.5, take it the lower value. If you get the value more than 0.5, take the higher value. Suppose if I'm getting 39.56, I'll go for 40. But I'm getting less than 0.5 now, that's the reason 39. So remember, in system designing, not only in HVAC, in any service, round off is applicable. Okay, next. 1 feet in terms of inches, 12 inches, not 10 inches. Maximum, some people have confusion. And 1 inch exactly is 25.4, but round off to 25 mm for system designing, right? Similarly, 1 feet in terms of mm is 304.8 exactly, but round off to 300 because 12 into 25, 300. Because 1 feet in 1 feet 12 inches and in 1 inch 25 mm. So 12 into 25, 300. Okay. Next, similarly, 1 yard. Yard means how what? Generally, people used to means people think yard means gaz. No, gaz is not yard. Square yard is gaz. Normally, when you purchase land, we are measuring as 100 means 100 gaz. Gaz means square yard, but yard is khadam. In local language, it's khadam. So 1 yard is how much? 3 feet. 1 square yard is different. That is area. But here 1 yard equal to 3 feet. Okay. So this is about length, nothing but distance conversion. Next we have area. This is also very important. If you know the area, you can use the thumb rule for tonnage at the very initial stage of project. So this is also important. First, mathematically 1 square meter equal to 10.76 square feet. So what is area? Before this, length means what? Length or distance is 1D, 1 dimension, na? And area is what? 2D, right? And volume is 3D. So we have 4D, 5D, 6D up to 7D in BIM concept. If you talk about Rivet, that is totally different. But in actual practice, we have 0D. 0D means point. 1D, 2D and 3D practically. But we have 4D to 7D concept in BIM, building information modeling, that related to the Rivet side. So here 2D, area is 2D. So 1 square meter equal to 10.76 square feet. Suppose if I draw here 1 meter, this also 1 meter. So this surface area, suppose I'm writing 1 meter here, 1 meter. So the surface area is 1 square meter, na? 1 into 1, 1 meter into meter square meter. Equal to what? 10.76 square feet. So how? For in 1 meter, how many feet? 1, 2, 3.8. 3.8 feet, na? Here 1 feet, 2 feet, 3 feet, 0.8. If I take 1 feet, 1 feet, this is 1 square feet. 2 square feet, 3 square feet, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And this area, suppose 1 and 2, this complete area, if you calculate, it is 1.76 square feet. So total how much? 9 plus 1.76, 10.76 square feet. It means in 1 square meter area, you'll get 10.76 times of square feet area. Practically. Theoretically simple. Mathematically, if you square this squaring both sides, you'll get this result. 1 into 1, 1 meter into meter, meter square, 3.28 into 3.28, 10.76 square feet into feet, square feet. Theoretically simple, but practically 1 square meter, in 1 square meter, you'll find 10.76 times of square feet area. Right? Clear? Next. Second point, reverse. 1 square feet in terms of square meter. So can we write 10.76 square feet equal to 1 square meter? We can write, na? So if 10.76 square feet equal to 1 square meter, 1 square feet equal to how much? So how we'll do? 1 divided by 10.76. So 1 divided by 10.76 will get 0.03 square meter theoretically. But how we can understand this in a practical way? 1 square feet equal to 0.093 square meter means what? How to understand this? For example, 1 means what? 100%. Right? Similarly, 0.1 is how much? 10%. Right? So in the same way, if I write 0.09 means what? 9%, na? Right? Sorry, 0.1 is 10%. 0. Sorry, point 0. Sorry, this is 9.93. 0.093 is how much we can consider. Okay, I'll write like this. Similarly, say 0.5 is how much? 50%. 50%. So 0.1 is 10%. So 0.093 is how much? 9.3%, na? Less than 10%. This is 0.093 is close to 0.1. Means I can write 9.3%. Understanding? And it's mathematical also, right? So 0.093 means 9.3%, right? Of what? So it means that 1 square feet is 9.3% of square meter area. For example, this is a total 1 square meter, na, and this is 1 square feet, this box. So this box is how much? This is 9.3% of the total. So it means that 1 square feet in terms of square meter is approximately, we can say 9%, for understanding, right? Theoretically 0.093, but practically it's a 9, approximately say 9%, means 1 square feet is 9% of square meter area. Okay, clear online? Next. Anything you can discuss, because this is very basic and very important. Till the end, you're going to use this conversion in all the areas, in all the modules. Okay. So next we have 1 square feet equal to 145 square inch, because 1 feet equal to 12 inches, na, squaring both sides. So 1 square feet equal to 145 square inch. It means in 1 square feet area, you'll get 144 times of square inch area, means 144 small boxes of 1 inch, of 1 square inch. Next, similarly, 1 square yard equal to 9 square feet, because 1 yard equal to 3 feet. So 1 into 1, 1, yard into yard, square yard. 3 into 3, 9 square feet, feet into feet, square feet. Means this is very simple to understand. You see, 1 yard, 1 yard. This is 1 yard, this is 1 yard, this is 1 square yard, right? So in 1 yard, how many feet? 3 feet, na? Here also 3 feet. So if I just draw this, how many boxes? Total 9, na? So 1 square yard equal to 9 square feet. Simple. Next, tonnage conversion, which is very important for a HVAC engineer. This length area is common for all the services, but tonnage specifically for HVAC. So 1 TR equal to how much? 210 kilojoules, you know, per minute. Similarly, 1 TR equal to 3.5 kilowatt mechanical kilowatt. Apart from this, some more conversion which is important for interview point of view, and we'll use in the calculation also. 1 TR equal to 12,000 BTU per hour. Next, 1 TR in terms of CFM. So standard, for standard machine, we are considering 400 cubic feet per minute. It's not direct conversion of it. It means if you want 1 ton of cooling effect in this room, and if you install the machine, the standard machine will supply 400 cubic feet per minute, the flow rate, the cool air, and based on that cool air, the 1 ton heat can be extracted. So it's not direct heat conversion. It's a flow rate required or supplied by standard machine to get 1 ton of cooling effect as per standard, as per ARI. Okay. Next. Anyhow, we'll use this in module 2. At present, just you by heart this. Next, 1 TR equal to 2.4 GPM. GPM is what? Gallons per minute. And which gallon we are using? We are using US as a standard. US gallons as standard, and it's a small mistake. You please update this. This is not 3.75. This is 3.78. Update this in the notes online. Those who don't have notes, you write page number 11 and you write here. Later when you get the notes, you can update. So 1 US gallon equal to 3.78 liters. So we are taking in India and in Gulf, we are using US as a standard. Not UK. For UK we can use 4.5, but this 3.4 GPM based on US gallon, not UK. So what it means, 1 ton equal to 2.4 GPM. We have a system called chill water system, the big system in chapter 5, and we have chill water piping, pump selection, fittings, accessories, number of topics related to chill water piping, and the major system, the big system. So if you talk about chill water piping, inside the coil, when the water is flowing at the rate of 2.4 gallons per minute, you can expect 1 ton of cooling effect on the coil. This is again a requirement for machine. And for standard machine, this may vary also, but for standard machine, we are considering 2.4 GPM. Yes, online. So in model 3 we'll use this GPM, and in model 2 we'll use the CFM for air side, and for water side GPM. I'll give you the formula also. For standard machine 2.4 GPM when the delta T is 10. But what is delta T at all at present you don't know. After learning the chill water system, we can discuss in module 3. Okay. Next, 1 ton equal to 3000 kilocalories per hour. And US gallon, UK gallon, and one more, 1 CFM equal to 1.7 CMH. CMH means you can write cubic meter per hour. You see CFM is what? Cubic feet per minute. Na? Similarly, CMH means cubic meter per hour. Okay. Page number 2 in data book. 2 data book. You'll get 2 booklet. One is note and one is data book. The same what I'm using on screen. So here in page number 2 data book, this page is taken from ASTRAE chapter 38, units and conversion. You see, units and conversion means is not, it's a physics. But we are dealing with HVAC, so we have picked from ASTRAE handbook 2009. So here, can you see the list of conversions? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Complete list of conversion with the 2 columns, right? Starting with the Ecker, then atmosphere bar, BTU, then EDR, feet per minute, FPM. So by next class, you must by heart all this. Can you do this? Can you do this class? Before next class, can you memorize all this? What I'll do, I'll reduce this task. Instead of page number 2 in data book, can you memorize this page number 11 in the notes? I'm happy. You see, this is the psychology. If you think for big, and if suppose initially if I say to by heart this page number 11, people will think okay, but now after showing the big, this is look like very simple. Now you are very happy. This is a technique you can use in the life also. If you want to do anything, think 10 times harder. The present task will become easy. You can use this technique in any area. Okay, so this is nothing for you now. You can memorize this very easily. Just 10 to 12 conversion. Okay, this is very easy compared to that one. Even if you think you can memorize that also, page number 2, but at least page number 11 you memorize, which is commonly used till the end. Apart from that, you'll find some more conversions at the time of designing. At the time you can use, but this is very basic. But now the question is, after memorizing also people find difficulty using this conversion. We'll go for a small activity. For example, quick answer. I'm expecting quick answer from all. For example, if I want to convert, first of all, 1 meter equal to 3.28 feet. Now 90 feet. I'm interested to convert into meter. Quick. 3.28. You are going to multiply or divide. How many people want to multiply and divide to get the result? Quick answer. Online people can click on your answer. To get the result in meter, you are going to multiply or divide. Click on your answer. 1 divide, 2 divide. Online class. Divide 1, multiply 1, divide. Yes. Divide. Yes. Divide. Other people online. I think all answer. No. Okay. So the correct answer is Divide. Why? The reason? You see, out of in online 4 classes, in classroom 3 people, out of means in 7 people we have some different answer. Out of 7 people we have different answer. It means there is a chance of confusion, and it's normal. There is a chance of confusion. So how to avoid this confusion at the time of using this conversion? I'll give you a simple technique. Why we are dividing? First of all, the answer is correct. Why we are dividing? 1 meter is equal to 3.28. Right. So we can follow the simple rule. Unit and value. So what happened in this? Feet to meter. Unit what increases na? Because meter is more than meter is bigger the unit compared to feet. So unit increases. Whenever unit increase, value must decrease na? So what we'll do? We'll divide. To divide, when you divide, the value will decrease. Simple rule. Or whenever, for example, if I give 30 meter and if you want to convert into feet, what happened? Meter to feet. So unit decreases. Unit decrease means value must increase. You are going to multiply. Simple rule. But be careful. This rule is applicable only if the conversion value greater than 1. If the conversion value less than 1, we cannot use this. Means you need to reverse. For example, we have two conversion. 1 meter equal to 3.28 feet and 1 feet equal to 0.3 meters. Both are same conversion. If I use this conversion 1 meter equal to 3.28 feet, this rule is accepted. Means when unit increases, value decrease, divide. When unit decreases, value increase, multiply. But for example, if I use this conversion, then if I multiply any value with 0.3, the value will increase or decrease? Decrease na? Suppose 100 into 0.3. We are multiplying. Common sense, people say it will increase, but no, it will decrease. It will be 30. 100 into 0.3 is 30. So when you're using the conversion less than 0.1, this divide will become multiply and this will become divide. Okay, so be careful. When you're using the conversion more than 1, this rule is applicable, or else reverse. So whenever you get the confusion, just wait for 2 seconds and find out whether you are increasing the unit or decreasing. Increasing the unit means value should reduce, and if the conversion is greater than 1, you can divide. Okay, simple rule. Following online. Next. So be careful with the conversions, because conversions are important. Suppose somebody is filling form. Suppose you are traveling to some place for holiday, and your agent is filling the form to get the ticket. Instead of M, if you write F, then will you tolerate? Will you tolerate? No. So think. This is the importance of conversion. You are going to change the gender. So this is the importance of conversion. So be careful. Be careful with the conversions in all the areas. Next. So the same rule is given here. Only if conversion is greater than 1. If less than 1, reverse. Okay. Next, thumb rule for tonnage. This is also important for interview point of view. Thumb rule. What is thumb rule? First of all, thumb rule means what? Remember the value. The value. I think someone is disconnected. Thumb rule means the value based on the previous experience. A rough value based on the previous experience. For example, first day when you arrive to this office from your home or from your hostel, suppose you come to know that half an hour is a time. So second day what you'll do? You'll start 35 minutes before, right? Because already you got the idea na? From my hostel to this office, it will take 30 minutes. So you'll start 35 minutes before. So what you did? You apply the thumb rule. So thumb rule is what? The value based on the previous experience. So we are learning the thumb rule for tonnage, and this is just a rough value at the initial stage of project to get the idea, to prepare the quotation for sales, and for a small project directly can apply also. Small project means very small, like 100, 200, 300 up to 500 square feet. And India maximum small project, the people are using tonnage only, this thumb rule only, but it's not recommended. And thumb rule is generally over tonnage, but not for all the application. And this thumb rule is applicable only for commercial and residential, not for industrial. And this thumb rule is based on 3 meter space height. Okay. So this is simple. 1 TR as per thumb rule, 1 TR will cover 100 square feet area, floor area. With the height, we are considering standard 3 meter. Nothing but 9 point something 1 square meter, round off to 9 square meter. Okay. But we have a condition. This 1 TR will cover 100 square feet if you have exposure more than 2 sides. Suppose this is exposed, the roof exposed, and other side also exposed. But we have multiple room inside the building which is not exposed. Only the corner rooms or the perimeter rooms are exposed, or the top floor we have the roof, but other rooms are not exposed. So in that case, you see, 1 ton will cover up to 130 square feet area. You see, for room exposed to 1 or no exposure. Okay, so this is thumb rule, and this thumb rule is for standard project. But now we have green building also in market. So for green building, the option is given here. Thumb rule for green building is 150 to 300 square feet per ton. Higher coverage, because green building means the wall metal, the construction metal with insulation is must. Anyhow, in standard construction, also in Gulf and in Western countries, you'll find with the insulation. But this thumb rule, first thumb rule is for general, means common construction, and the second thumb rule is for green building. So both are important. Now, previous the people are asking only thumb rule in for a standard project, but now in market, or now at the time of interview, they are asking for as per the green building also. So for green building, 1 ton will cover up to 300 square feet, higher area, because the heat transfer is less in the green building area, because we are designing the construction with all insulation, with good insulation. Okay. And this is important for interview point of view. And we'll do one simple example. Thumb rule is simple. If you know the floor area, then divide with floor area with 100 if it is exposure, you'll get the tonnage, or divide with 130 if it is not exposed, you'll get the tonnage, right? Simple. So here you see a simple example. A supermarket measure area 2000 square feet, 3 side exposed. Find the tonnage using thumb rule. 3 side exposed means this rule is applicable, na? So similarly, 2000 divided by 100, 20 TR is required. Simple. So this is for rough calculation, rough estimation at the initial stage of project. Especially sales people are using this one, and even technical people for small project can use this one. So done for today's session.